Um, Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'll demonstrate how we can use PowerShell Empire and Metasploit to compromise a system and then essentially pivot into another system that is not accessible to the DMZ network or it is not hosted as an external network. So let's get started. So a few things about this lab. First of all, the way this lab is configured is that if we go to let's see hosts, we can see that there are two hosts. First one is the demo.ini.local and the another one is fileserver.ini.local. So let's first of all ping them to see which one is accessible to us. And let's see, I'll just send 2 counts of the ping. So you can see the demo.ini.local is accessible to us, but if we ping fileserver.ini.local, let's see if it is accessible to us or not. So give it a minute. So it's failing to ping that servers. So let's see what we can do here. So as per an assessment, we start by running an nmap scan. So let's just run a quick nmap scan to see what ports are open here. Part demo.ini.local. And again, give it a minute, it will complete. So let's just wait. And this video is not really thought of or not something that I practiced before. So just bear with me. I'm also going through this one kind of a first time. Like I know how to do it, but haven't done this particular lab before. So as you can see here, I can see 135, 139, 445, 3389, and all these ports are typical Windows ports that you generally see open into a server or into a lab. But this port 4983, this one is the odd one out. So let's see what this is. So how we can do it. So maybe run an nmap scan for just that port 4983, and then also the SV and S. It's just let's also run this quick scan against this port. Again, give it a minute. It will take some time. Oh, so it's just an Apache server. So what we can do here, we can just send a file get request here. See what comes back. So what was it? 4983. Oh, so as you can see, maybe we got the administrator credentials. So how can we use these credentials to get a shell? What do we have here? We have 445, 139, 135. So the first we also have 3389. So we can use RDP, but we don't really need RDP. We want it to get a shell into the system. So let's just try maybe packet exec. So we can use administrator VDC 123 321. That's that. And then we can just put the host here. See if we get a cell. Oh, we got the cell here. So I really did not expect it to be so easy to just get a cell like that. Let's see, who am I? So we are under 30 system, and we have national hospital. We have basically all the access that an administrator typically has. So now what we can do here with this cell. So let's go and just first start our PowerShell Empire. Well, exit I will show you how to start Empire server and an Empire client. I already have it running. Let's just exit this. So we can have a clean slate. So we have this window. Let me take this time. So let's just run Powershell Empire. The server. Powershell Empire server. And then horizontal split. Now let's start our Powershell Empire client. And you can use any client here. You can use Start Killer also. So first of all, we need to set our listener. Listener is TTP. Then in a typical old fashion, we need to set a host, and the host will be our Kali Linux host IP, which will be, let's see what our host IP is. And this always on top because I keep forgetting it. And I will need it multiple times now. It's 33, 10.10.36.3. And it's set a port, wait, and we execute. Or do we need to configure anything else here? No, I don't think. I mean, for now, this will be enough. Let's go to the main screen. Now let's use this listener to STTP. And we need to set a stager actually, so we can use stager, null-time launcher. And set the listener to the STTP, the one we just configured, and we can execute. So we get this PowerShell code that is essentially base64 encoded. Let's see if we manage to get a shell here. This is just code. So very well, nice. We can see that it has sent some agent to the compromised host, and it says a new agent checked in. Like we can just say agents, and we have agent 1, that is 10.5.23.129. Let's just go and interact with this one and see what we can use our agent for. So now we are interacting with the system. So let's use some modules with this agent or this session. We can use PowerShell, situational awareness, and maybe computer details. Execute. Let's see what information we managed to get from here. So let's just give it a minute now. So we get whatever information you might have used old enumeration techniques to get from the system. Like we can see the account name is administrator, and the work group name, the target domain name, and all those things. But we need to compromise the another system. The another system, namely file server.ini.local. So let's see what we have. Like, let's see first if we have some PowerShell module to enumerate hosts on that. Shell situation awareness. Host. Let's see if we have maybe network. Yeah. We have a port scan module here, which means that we can essentially use this one to scan ports on the internal network for a system that is in the internal network for this system. So let's just use this one. We can use this one with our host IP for file server.ini.local, which was this one. Let's see. Set host execute. Let's see if this host is accessible from here. We must get some open ports from this host. So let's just give it a minute to complete the scan. So nice. We can see that we have port 80, 3389, 445, 139, 135 open. So that means that this is some kind of server and also a Windows server that maybe because 445 and 3389 and 139 and 135 are running. So from here, what we can do? So what we can do is that we can pivot into the another system using Metasploit. So we need to start Metasploit first. Sorry, NSF console. So we need a way to deliver our um, exploit code or a payload to the attacker system. So the same thing we can use, like we can use something like use exploit multi script web delivery. We can set the payload as Windows interpreter. Yes. Okay, wait. Let's need to set show options. So first the target we need to set as show target. Target. Set target. So we have PowerShell binary. We can use PowerShell here. So we have PowerShell as our target. Now we can use the payload. Use this TCP. Payload 3. Command. This target 2 options. Set serve host, which will be our Kali Linux IP. So again, I forgot what our Kali Linux IP was. Let's go and again set the serve host and the other host as our target Linux IP because it's our IP. I said let's just keep output to be 4444. And then what we can do here? Let's show the page. And this method pattern. There goes CD. Let's run this one. So we got this PowerShell script. The following, we got this URL also, so we can use this URL to get a shell here in our metadata system. So where we can use this URL, we can use this URL with our C2 server or C2 client command PowerShell Empire. So what we can do here, we can go to our command and C2 server, and then we can use something like say, let's see, use module Metasploit payload. We can set URL to be our payload URL, which is not this one. Let's copy it again. Let's use this one. And why am I not able to copy it? Let's copy it like this. Now let's execute this. So let's see if we get a shell in our Metapeta session or not. So as you can see, we have got a session here as Metapeta session 1. We can just go and list our sessions and then sessions.I or just sessions 1. You can just interact with it. So the first thing I want to do here is like get UID and also sysinfo. So we know that the system architecture is 64-bit, but we are using 3086 x86 Metapeta system, which is a 32 bits Metapeta system. So what we can use is we can use something like pgrade explorer.exe and migrate pgrade explorer, maybe with Elsas, and migrate it to that process ID 688. Now, if we could go and see, we can see that our Metapeta session has upgraded to x64 or 64-bit session. So first, let's background this session, and we can run a command directly inside a session by using session. Let's see. Let's try to ping the host. Session. Let's see. And let's see. Let's try. Let's see. So how can we run this command here? Can we use session that then yes, this way we can run a command in our target session and we can see that we have a host here. So how can we use or exploit this host? We already know that there are some ports that are open, but how can we access those ports here? We can use maybe first we need a route to this network. So we can search for auto route. Search the route, or we already have it. Use 57. This one. And we say use 57. And let's see. We can set this session to session 1 and then run. So what it will do, it will automatically add a route to this network so that we can essentially use something like a proxy or use maybe you even use port forwarding to access that particular ports on that particular host. But I will be using SOX proxy then. Let's search for that. Let's see. Use 0. So let's add this serve host to be our Kali Linux IP, which is this one, I think. 36.3, I think. Let's just run it. And if everything is configured correctly, we can just go to, what was it, file server and build. But first we have to configure our proxy on our browser. So we can do that by going to the browser settings, proxy settings. We can go to manual proxy configuration. Proxy host will be on a local IP. and the port will be, I think, 1008, or was it? Oh, it's 1080. So now we can just try to see if that host is accessible or not. I'll set that and local. So now you can see that we have that particular host accessible in our browser using that particular proxy that we have configured in our Metasploit session or Metasploit framework. So as you can see, it's running bad blue. You can just maybe use nmap to see what version of bad blue is running here. Nmap. So first we need to configure proxy chains here. Let's see first. Let's if the system has proxy chains configured or not. It has proxy chains configured, but we need to change it according to our configuration or the proxy that we are running in Metasploit framework. We need to use manual. It's the proxy chains openf. To go down the page, we need to comment this line out. We need to add socks 5. Our current IP 10.10.36.3 and port will be 1080. Let's see if we are able to use nmap set this or not. Means nmap st we will use connect scan, and then the host name will be the file server.imlocal. Okay, so since we have some sort of idea that it's a network, it's a Windows system, we can use dash pn because it by default the Windows network blocks the ping probes. So we can use dash pn. We can use some host port 80. So it says that the port 80 is closed. Socket error time out. What we can do here? It's 10.5.27.87. But it should work like this also, man. Not like as our host file has this one's file. Let's see. File server.ini. So it was case sensitive. Let's see what service it is running. Just run sv to check service version. And it's done. So it's bad blue 2.7. Let's see if bad blue 2.7 has any vulnerability or not. So 2.72 has remote buffer overflow, multiple vulnerabilities. We also have a Ruby module for this one. 2.72p buffer overflow pass through. Let's search Metasploit for bad blue. Search. If I could type it correctly. So we know that it's 2.7. And let's just use 1. So options. Then let's set the output to be something else because we are actually already using 4444. And then set R host to be file server.ini.local. And maybe payload should be bind TCP. Those attracted bind TCP. And let's run this exploit and see if this is working or not. So far so good. Oh, so we got a session in the target system. Let's see, get UID, sysinfo. Let's just say pgrep lss, migrate into lss. And now let's see what we can do here. CMD, our shell, VMI. We are on NT authority system. VMI priv. If I could again type that correctly. So we have all the privileges that a typical administrator account has in a system. So we can say that we have compromised the other system as you can see. First, we compromised this one, the demo.ini.local, that was 10.5.23.129 system, and use this system to do some lateral movement or do some pivoting to the another system that was not actually accessible to us from our local network or through the DMG network that we are connected through. So this is it. This was it. I hope you have learned something. If not, let's just comment and maybe I will be able to solve your queries. Or maybe if you have some suggestions you can give. I know like I don't, my voice is not working because I was sore throat. So just wanted to like put this video out if somebody is struggling with Metasploit and PowerShell Empire, because since PowerShell Empire has been archived and many people are using Starkiller with PowerShell Empire server, nobody is actually making videos with PowerShell Empire client. So I thought that there should be a updated video in 2026 that shows some of the capabilities of PowerShell client that you can still use with some of the older systems. So this will be it, and